Ever been frozen in fear at the sight of a math problem? Here are the 5 tips to overcome math phobia and excel this exam season. Welcome to the Psychology and Physical Training channel. Unveiling the math monster. This fear, known as math phobia, is a common phenomenon that students worldwide grapple with. It's the daunting dread that creeps in when confronted with complex equations, intricate formulas, and puzzling theorems. It's the anxiety that makes your palms sweaty, heart race, and mind go blank during math exams. Math phobia is not just an irrational fear, it's a formidable obstacle that can hinder academic performance and dampen the joy of learning. It's like a monster lurking in the shadows, casting a chilling pall over the otherwise fascinating world of numbers and patterns. But where does this math monster come from? Well, it's often born out of misunderstanding and a lack of confidence. When we struggle to understand a concept, it seems scarier than it actually is. And when we don't believe in our ability to crack a math problem, it grows into a towering, terrifying beast. It's also fueled by the pressure to perform, the pressure to get it right every single time, to not make mistakes. But let's remember, math, like any other subject, is about learning, and learning involves making mistakes. It's about exploring, discovering, and understanding new concepts and ideas. It's not just about getting the right answer, but about understanding how we arrived at that answer. And it's not just about individual struggles. The way math is often taught can contribute to the problem. Traditional methods, which emphasize rote learning and memorizing formulas without understanding their essence, can make math seem boring and intimidating. But here's the good news. This math monster is not invincible. It can be tamed, it can be transformed from a source of fear into a source of fascination and fun, and it doesn't require any magic spells or special powers. It just takes the right approach, a positive mindset, and a willingness to embrace the beauty and logic of math. So, ready to embark on this journey of conquering your math phobia? But what if I told you that there are ways to tame this math monster? Discover effective methods to conquer math phobia and excel in your exams. Yes, you heard it right. Overcoming math phobia is possible with the right approach and mindset. Stay tuned as we unveil these methods in the upcoming scenes. Embrace activity-based learning. Our first weapon against the math monster is activity-based learning. Imagine a world where math isn't just about numbers and formulas. Instead, it's a world full of puzzles and games where every problem is a new adventure waiting to be explored. Welcome to the world of activity-based learning. Activity-based learning is a revolutionary approach that takes the terror out of math by transforming it into a hands-on, engaging experience. Instead of being passive recipients of information, students become active participants in the learning process. They are given tasks that allow them to see the principles behind the formulas and theories come to life. Imagine learning about geometry by building a model house, or understanding algebra through a cooking recipe. Sounds fun, doesn't it? That's because activity-based learning is all about making math tangible and relatable. It's about taking those abstract concepts and turning them into something you can see, touch, and interact with. You see, when we engage in an activity, our brains light up like a Christmas tree. Different parts of the brain work together, creating connections and associations that help us understand and remember things better. And when we're having fun, we're more likely to stay engaged and retain the information longer. But activity-based learning isn't just about making math more enjoyable. It's also about showing students that math is not a monster to fear, but a tool they can use to solve real-world problems. It teaches them that math is not just about memorizing formulas, but understanding why and how they work. So how can you incorporate activity-based learning into your math studies? Start by looking for activities that relate to the math concepts you're learning. Use everyday objects to demonstrate mathematical principles. Play math games, solve puzzles, or even create your own math activities. The key is to make math an active, engaging, and enjoyable experience. And so, the next time you see a math problem, think of it as a puzzle to solve, not a monster to fear. Remember, every problem is just an adventure waiting to be explored. So embrace activity-based learning and let the fun begin. Grasp math via real-life applications. Weapon number 2 in our arsenal is real-life applications. Now, this might sound a bit odd at first. How can something as abstract as mathematics be related to our everyday lives? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. Mathematics is everywhere, from the change you receive at the grocery store to the distance you travel to work. It's in the architecture of the buildings around us, the rhythms of the music we listen to, and even in the patterns of the weather. Let's take trigonometry, for instance. It's not just about sine, cosine, and tangent. It's about how we measure distances, heights, and angles. When you're playing a game of basketball, you're using trigonometry to calculate the perfect arc of your shot. When you're on a hike and you want to know how much further the peak is, you're using trigonometry again. Coordinate geometry, another topic that seems abstract, is actually fundamental in GPS technology that we use every day to navigate our way around the city. It's also used in computer graphics, robotics, and even in predicting the paths of hurricanes. Logarithms may seem like they belong in the distant past, but they're very much a part of our present. They're used in calculating the magnitude of earthquakes, in determining the pH level of substances, and even in the algorithms that recommend your next binge watch on streaming platforms. These are just a few examples of how math is woven into our daily lives. When we start connecting these real-world scenarios with mathematical concepts, it doesn't seem so intimidating anymore. Instead, it becomes a language that helps us understand and navigate the world around us. So the next time you're faced with a complex math problem, try to relate it to something you've experienced or seen in your daily life. It could be as simple as splitting the restaurant bill with your friends, or as complex as predicting the outcome of a football match. The possibilities are endless. When you start seeing math in the world around you, it becomes less of a monster and more of a helpful tool. Use mind maps and structured learning paths. Our third weapon is mind maps and structured learning paths. These tools are your allies in the journey to conquer the math monster. They serve as visual aids, breaking down complex mathematical concepts into bite-sized, digestible pieces. Imagine a large, intricate puzzle. It's overwhelming at first glance, isn't it? But when you begin to separate the pieces, categorize them, and understand how they fit together, the image starts to take shape. That's what mind maps and structured learning paths do for your understanding of math. Let's talk about mind maps first. These are diagrams that visually organize information. They start with a central concept and branch out into sub-concepts, creating a web of interconnected ideas. Think of it as a tree with many branches. The trunk represents the main concept, say, algebra, and the branches are the different elements of algebra like equations, inequalities, and polynomials. Each branch further divides into smaller branches, representing even more specific concepts. This visual representation helps you see the connections and relationships between different parts of a larger concept, simplifying the learning process. On the other hand, structured learning paths guide you through the learning process in a sequential manner. Imagine you're on a journey through a dense forest, and you have a map that shows the safest and most efficient route to your destination. That's what a structured learning path does. It outlines the course you should take, starting from basic concepts and gradually moving to more advanced ones. It ensures that you're not jumping ahead and missing crucial information along the way. These two tools, when used together, can significantly enhance your understanding of math. They turn the monstrous subject into a series of smaller, simpler problems. They make math approachable, manageable, and dare I say, even enjoyable. Remember, even the most complex math problem is just a series of smaller, simpler problems put together. Practice questions of different levels of difficulty. Weapon number 4 is practice, practice, and more practice. Just as a musician hones their craft through endless repetition, so too must a mathematician. By engaging with problems of varying difficulty levels, you can steadily build your confidence and competency. Start with simpler problems to cement your understanding of basic concepts. As your confidence grows, gradually progress to more complex problems. This methodical approach will help you understand how to tackle different types of problems, providing a solid foundation for your mathematical skills. Moreover, every problem you solve, no matter how small, serves as a victory, a testament to your growing prowess. You'll start to see that the math monster isn't so terrifying after all. It's simply a puzzle waiting to be solved, a challenge waiting to be overcome. And with each triumph, your math phobia will diminish, replaced by a newfound confidence and ability. Remember, every problem you solve is another victory over the math monster. Learn with educational apps. Our final weapon is the use of educational apps. Today we live in a digital world where technology has revolutionized the way we learn. Educational apps are a rich resource for students grappling with math phobia. These apps are designed to make learning math less daunting and more engaging. Imagine having a math tutor right in your pocket, one that uses quizzes, games, and interactive activities to teach complex concepts. These apps take the fear out of math by transforming it into a fun game that you can play anytime, anywhere. They help students visualize mathematical problems, making abstract concepts more tangible. Moreover, these apps monitor progress and provide instant feedback, allowing students to learn at their own pace. They keep learners motivated and foster quick thinking abilities, turning the daunting task of learning math into an enjoyable experience. With these apps, learning math becomes less like fighting a monster and more like playing a game. Conquering math phobia. So are you ready to conquer your fear of math? Let's recap the 5 tools we've discussed in our journey to overcoming math phobia. First, we explored the benefits of an activity-based learning approach. We learned that by engaging in practical and interactive exercises, we can better visualize and understand complex mathematical concepts. Second, we discovered the power of linking math to real-life applications. By connecting the dots from trigonometry to calculating distances, or from logarithmic tables to managing finances, the abstract becomes tangible and math becomes less intimidating. Our third tool was the use of mind maps and structured learning paths. These visual representations help break down complex concepts into smaller, more digestible parts. They guide our learning journey, allowing us to tackle increasingly challenging topics at a pace that suits us best. The fourth tip was practicing questions at different levels of difficulty. Like in any other skill, the more you practice, the better you get. Starting with simpler problems solidifies our understanding of basic concepts, and gradually moving to more complex ones builds our confidence and competence. And lastly, we ventured into the digital world and looked at how educational apps can make learning math fun and engaging. These apps, equipped with quizzes, games, and interactive activities, can keep us motivated and track our progress. Overcoming math phobia may seem like an uphill battle, but remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you have already taken that first step by equipping yourself with these 5 powerful tools. So don't let the fear of math deter you. Embrace it, understand it, challenge it. Use these tools to your advantage. And remember, every problem has a solution. You just have to find the right formula. Remember, the math monster isn't as scary as it seems. With the right weapons and a brave heart, you can conquer it. Good luck with your exams. And if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe and follow the Psychology and Physical Training channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.